Hey guys, it's your girl Sofineee. Welcome back to my channel. So today for this video, we're gonna do something really chill. As you can see, my background's a little bit different. I decided to record on my bed, and we're just gonna be talking about some tips that I have for those of you who are deciding on whether you want to start your locks or not, or if you do have your starter locks, what you can do moving forward in your journey. So if you're interested in whatever I have to say, I'm gonna give you about 8 tips. This was going to be a part 1 and part 2 video, so it's gonna be part 1. I'm gonna give you the first 8, and then in the next video I'll give you my remaining tips, just so I can not have this video be too long and you can just get what you need and leave what you don't and keep it pushing. So keep on watching. Alright, so the first tip is you need to know the kind of hair you have. Do you have really soft or fine hair? Do you have coarse hair? Do you have kinky hair? Like, what is your hair texture? That's the first thing for you to know. Knowing the type of hair you have can save you from a lot of disappointment in the future. So people can look on my Instagram or my YouTube, or even look at other people who have locks and be like, okay, I like her hair, I want my hair to be like that. But if your hair is not the same texture as mine, you will definitely be disappointed. Like, you can look on my Instagram and be like, oh, I want locks like hers, but when you send me a picture of what your hair looks like, you have really fine hair. Maybe that's not gonna happen, because my hair is extra coarse and really thick. I have 4C hair, so locking my hair, one, that took mad long for that, and the looser your texture, the longer it takes for your hair to lock. So if your hair is really loose, natural, like loose curls, be prepared for about a year or 2 for your hair to fully lock. It took me about maybe a year and a half for my hair to fully lock, and even then, like, sometimes my ends are still pretty curly, but you know, we move. So just making sure that you research and you know the kind of hair texture you have, so that you can actually know how to set realistic goals for yourself. So you know, okay, within maybe this month or so I will have a little bit more budding, or maybe by then I'll be able to do different styles. Now my hair will be this length. So just knowing different characteristics, like how do your hair grow fast? Do you need to take biotin to help your hair grow? Things like that, honestly, just to help you know like exactly what you're going to be dealing with. But just so you know that you will never actually be fully prepared for your journey. That's the one thing that I remember as well. You will never fully be prepared, because your hair, our hair has their own mind of its own. So they do whatever they want, especially when you have locks, because there's no control, there's no real time or set plan or journey. It just, your hair does what it wants to do, and you just let it at this point. Okay, so the second thing you guys need to think about before starting your lock journey, or like while doing it, what you want to do moving forward, is deciding, do you want thick locks or do you want your locks to look full? Because there's a difference. So for you to accomplish locks that looks full, you should have smaller parts. Your parts will be small, so that when you have more lock parts, more lock, what's the number? You increase the number of your locks so that it can look fuller, like you have a lot more hair on your head. Versus if you want thick locks, your parts will be a lot bigger, so that when you do have whatever shedding or your hair is growing, that all the hair falls into the dead hair falls into the lock, so it can grow and get a lot more puffy and bigger and thicker. So doing things like that. So making sure that either you want thick locks so that you have bigger parts, or you want your locks to look full, so you have smaller parts, so it has more hair, more strands, more locks, just so they can have that full. I know a lot of people with sister locks have that as well. Sister locks, their hair always looks big and full because they're so small and so thin that it looks like hair strands, so it's just so full and it's so big. So, and I really like that, but the maintenance for the small, really tiny locks, I would not be able to do it. So that's why I just decided to do like a medium. So it's like a medium size, but nonetheless it still looks pretty full and still look pretty thick. All right, so the next thing you want to think about is, how will you start your locks? So many people, I started with coils. You can start with coils, you can start with 2-strand twists. People even started with braids, and now people can do instant locks. So you automatically go to a loctician and they crochet your hair, and automatically you have locks for that day. By the end of that night, you have locks. So that's just the list goes on. There's a whole bunch more that I'm sure that's not coming to my mind right now, but just figuring out, researching on which way do you want to start. Some people can start it themselves, they can have a friend start for them, or they can even go to a hair salon and have someone do it for them as well and pay a professional. But as for me, I went to a friend of mine, I paid her, and she just did coils in my hair and I just left it like that. So at the end of the day, it's just a matter of your preference of what you want to do moving forward, how you want to start your hair, and just being comfortable with your decision. I mean, some people will start one way, then they change their mind and start in a different way, and just seeing which one works for them best. I personally, I've said this before, that I started with coils just in case I didn't like it. I could have just automatically combed it out, but as you can see, it's been 3 years later, I'm still here. But otherwise, if you wanted to do 2-strand twists, you can also do that, and if you do change your mind, comb it out as well. But it's just, I personally felt like it would take a lot longer, because once your hair is 2-strand twist, maybe the entanglement or what out of your hair strands will be a lot harder to take apart versus the coil, which is just one big loop. So that works as well. It's up to you guys. All right, so number 4, you research the type of hair you have. You decide if you want thick locks or if you want your locks to look full. Third is how you're gonna start your hair. Do you want to start with coils, 2-strand twists, crochet, whichever one that you decide. So the next one is just being patient. Trust me, I know I hated when people would tell me, when I watch my videos before starting, about like other people's lock journeys, and they would always tell me be patient. Being patient is the hardest thing you could ever ask me to do, but I had to do it. And believe it or not, this is the main thing that you should do throughout your lock journey, being patient, because time is all that you really need for your hair to grow. Your hair doesn't grow overnight. Your hair is not going to lock overnight. It's going to take time. So you just have to be patient. And I recommend always taking pictures of your hair throughout either, whether it's every month, 2 months, every week, just something so you can document your patience and your journey. So you can always look back and be like, okay, this month or this year I looked like this, and this is how long my hair was, etc, etc. And then you can look at the future now, like, okay, this is where I'm at now. I'm very content with where I am. So take your pictures, take your videos. That'll also help you with your patience and letting you know, like, this is a journey. Take your time. Don't rush greatness. The earth wasn't built in one day. God took 7. So let's go. Alright, so the next one I would talk about is about lock inspiration. So I know we all look on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, Twitter, people post pictures, videos of their locks and their lock journey, and you're like, oh my gosh, I love her hair, I want to have like that, I want to have hair like this, etc. You can have lock inspirations. Like, I have my own lock inspirations, people that I look up to, like, okay, this is what she did on her journey, I'm gonna try this, or I really like how she did this style, I want to do this as well. Just people that inspire you. You can always have someone that inspire you. But I just want to clarify that lock envy is a real thing. Do not look on to someone else and be like, oh, I want my hair like that, why can't my hair like that, and just focus on that one aspect of their hair, like, why can't my hair be like this? Because everyone's hair is different, and we all have to understand that. Like, my hair texture is not the same as, let me see, Keisha Charmaine, or I think there's West Indie Ray. Like, those people, like, we don't have the same hair. I don't color my hair as well, so we have different journeys, we do different things in our hair, we use we have different textures, different products, living environments. I live in cold New York, maybe someone lives in a nice tropical warm area. There are different effects on their hair as well. So just knowing that everybody's path and everybody's journey is going to be different, and you don't have to envy their hair or try to have like, or project anything that they have on theirs onto yours, because that's just going to add stress. You're not going to enjoy your journey. It's not going to be fun. Growing your hair, enjoying whatever stage that you're in, is the benefit of being a part of the journey. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to bring up is the ugly stage. A lot of people complain, I don't want to go through the ugly stage, I want to do the whole lock extension and just start automatically with long hair. And it's to each their own. I'm not going to say, oh, go through the ugly stage, embrace it and love it in every stage you're in, because I'm going to be honest, during my ugly, well, I don't want to call it the ugly stage, but like within my first 6 months, I wore wigs over my locks. I did not have my natural hair out until like maybe 6 months after starting my lock journey. And it was because I didn't like having short hair. I wasn't used to having short hair, and I just didn't like how I looked with it. So until my hair came to a length that I appreciated and I liked, I wore my wigs. And if that's what you want to do, you can do so too. I know a lot of people, even with the length that they're at, even with my length, they're still wearing wigs. I know, like, during my starter lock journey, when I started, like within my first 6 months, frizz was real. Frizz is the devil in addition to lint. Like, lint was always around, always getting caught in my hair. Frizz was the other thing. Like, when I was starting to bud, So I had this thing, so I still do it. I moisturize my hair every week, and anytime I sprayed water in my hair, my little baby locks would puff up and look like cheese doodles. Like, I hated it so badly. That was why I wore wigs, because it looked crazy, and I thought I looked crazy. Like, I would spray my water, like get my oils, moisturize, give myself a scalp massage, all of that, and then I would just have to spend the rest of the day. I would stay home. I'll do it when I'm home, or my evening, and just chill and let my hair air dry and get whatever moisture it needs from that time that I sprayed the water, because I was not leaving my house like that. Like, even though I would spray that water and my hair would puff up and have all this frizz, that is what was necessary for my hair to lock. So never shying away from water despite what it does to your hair. Spraying with water and vitamin E oil every week, or even if it's like every 2 or 3 days, doing so will help your hair to lock faster. I know people also use salt water. I've never tried the salt water. I've only just used water and oil. So I mean, if you want to try the salt water as well, to say salt water is really good for your hair to help it lock as well. I just didn't want to go through that, but the whole salt, regular water and oil was enough for me. Okay, I know. I'm gonna insert a picture of what my hair looks like after those spray sessions of moisturizing my hair, just so I'll be vulnerable on YouTube for you guys and show you guys, like, this was the journey. This was why I did not want to wear my hair out. I had this nice curly hair, so that even though like my hair was pretty big, the curls made my hair look a little bit nicer. But otherwise, yeah, I'll just insert a picture so you guys can see. So frizz will always happen. It just won't be as big and poofy as it was when you were first starting with your baby locks. So just keep that in mind. So this was just to show, like, I had long relaxed hair, and I decided, okay, I don't want to relax my hair anymore. I want to go natural, but I do not want to be a loose natural. So I decided to lock my hair. I big chopped. It was gradual, but I big chopped, and eventually when I started my lock journey, I started on really short hair. So if you start on short hair and you're afraid of the ugly journey, of the ugly phase, or whatever part that you're just nervous about, just know that you're not alone. A whole bunch of people did the same thing, went through the same journey. We managed with it, we got through it, and you can too. Honestly, you can too. We all did it. If you want to do a wig, you can do a wig. You can do head wraps. You can do anything. Do rags if you're a guy. Like, anything just to help you manage through that phase, so that once you get to a certain length that you're comfortable with, then you can manage and just be exposed naturally. So this is my first batch of my tips for starter locks, or for those of you that want to do more research or learn about your lock journey before starting. If you are interested in the others that I have to say, stick around for part 2. That will be coming out shortly. So as I mentioned in the beginning, take whatever you can that resides with you, and you can leave whatever that is not. I will have more in my next part 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.